All right, we're here again on day 2 of Growing the North with Kyle Reiling. So Kyle, you're the executive director with the MD of Greenview, but specifically for the Greenview Industrial Gateway, what we lovingly call the GIG. Give an overview of yourself, your position, and maybe a high-level overview. What is the GIG?
So thank you very much. I'm Kyle Reiling. I'm the executive director for the Greenview Industrial Gateway. Spent the last 5 years really designing what you would call as a plug-and-play industrial complex focused on the upgrading of natural gas. So that was the whole premise behind the design, and essentially designing all of your key infrastructure that is needed to upgrade that natural gas. So your roads, your understanding of the water and the water requirements, the design that comes with it, your natural gas feedstock, your associated wetlands management, all the geotechnical. So multiple things the MD of Greenview has taken on the onus of advancing what has been over the course of 12 years. From an area structure plan, all in the advancement of this, which has now led to natural gas essentially producing electricity, which will then drive the data center new development.
Yeah, and so perfect. It's a good segue. So, of course, in the news recently, the announcement of Wonder Valley, which is really data centers. And as we were just talking about, our region has always been really diverse. We have energy, it's oil and gas. We have agriculture. We're really strong in forestry, commerce, growing tourism. And then now we have a net new industry, technology. But what seems beautiful about that, from my perspective, is that it's really stacking on top of our primary industry already with energy. So talk a little bit about the creation of a net new industry on top of the backbone of our strongest industry, and what that really means, I guess, for the potential growth of our region, and what that means for economic opportunity and employment opportunities, I guess.
Yeah, you've nailed it. Like this region is blessed with resources and a strong, thriving, multi-sectored economy. And when you look at kind of the ebbs and flows throughout Alberta, this region doesn't have that. It's got a continual growth. The development of data centers brings in, it's a whole new sector. You're taking a very strong economy and you're giving it a boost. And that boost is new jobs, not only in your construction, but new opportunities for engineering, electrical engineering, instrumentation, IT. So it opens up, I think, also a new outlook for the next generation of our youth, looking and going, okay, well, I don't just need to go into petrochemicals or forestry or ag. Now I can go into a new evolving sector. We've had discussions and meetings with the college, with the Polytechnic Northwest, and they're completely stoked about this opportunity to bring in additional engineering and mechanical engineering to support this. We've already had discussions between the Polytechnic and O'Leary about bringing in new curriculum and certifications that are specific to data center, really giving our youth the opportunity and kind of that upper hand that should come with a development like this in our backyard.
Yeah, and so for all of the activity in the GIG, it's not just Wonder Valley. There's other plays in there. We can maybe talk about that, but we talk a lot about attraction of talent to the region. But I think initiatives like this that diversify our region, they really help with the retention of our talent as well, and partnerships with the Polytechnic. Northwest Alberta is focusing a lot on work integrated learning, these opportunities to get the students into the field, into the workforce while they're learning, and we see that has a much higher potential of actually keeping the youth in the region as well.
Yeah, and I think that you're even taking another step in the O'Leary group in how they're looking at integration. Like, Yes, they've had discussions with the Polytechnic at that level, but they're having already discussions at the mid-level, at the supporting the grade 6, 7s, and 8s, and how do we start getting that education of data centers and getting in AI intelligence built into these school systems. Those are the discussions that the O'Leary Group and their partners are having. Really even more grassroots and really identifying these opportunities. Discussions have occurred with Indigenous communities that have traditional territory of the gig, and that's been something that they've been discussing is opportunities for dedicated scholarships or certifications, and how do we provide opportunities for the next generation that loves gaming.
Yeah.
How do they incorporate the gaming with the AI and the education? These are all things that this group is looking at and have history in developing it. And so it's all really, really exciting, at what potential you can look at how far this goes. You would also say that the development of data centers brings in a different demographic. And that different demographic will spur off new companies and new opportunities with it that we don't currently have. So it is really taking this highly energetic, youthful workforce and just giving them another opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm going to transition for a moment. And one thing that just struck me as we're talking. So my business is in the city of Grand Prairie. I'm interviewing you here at the conference in the county of Grand Prairie, number one, and we're talking about the MD of Greenview and the gig. These three municipalities have been collaborating so well in the last couple of years, and I know that you would go on trade missions to together with the municipalities. Talk a little bit about the collaboration with the municipalities, and why would that matter if you're a job seeker in Ontario or BC and you're thinking about coming to this region. It's not just the city of Grand Prairie, it's not just the county, it's the MD, and that trio together, working together in terms of economic development. What does that mean to an external job seeker, I guess?
Yeah, you nailed it. So that they do look at that, and to highlight, I think this region does work tremendously together. And even in the 5 years that I've been here, I've seen that it evolve, working on initiatives just like you discussed. But to give you a real life example with this O'Leary development, I had a request to go down, and I met with them in Calgary, and it was on a Friday. Spent 5.5 hours with them, myself and Canadian Fiber Optics, on the opportunities that exist in this region. I received notification on Saturday that Carl had canceled his flight to Dubai, and he wanted to meet me Monday in Grand Prairie. Tuesday morning, we were in a helicopter flying the gig, and the next request was, okay, what about the city? What does the city have to offer? And I would love to sit down with the mayor and discuss if the city is supportive of such an opportunity. We called and sent out to the county and the city and said, hey, we have this opportunity. Everyone dropped what they did. There was people driving in from everywhere. We hosted them that night, and we brought the unified message that Grand Prairie has what it is that they're looking for, and the supportive region. So this is the ultimate definition. You had the Reeve, you had the mayor, you had the Reeve, you had councillors in that room, and they met months in advance, and everyone kept quiet as we worked towards this finalization.
Yeah, Kyle, that's a wonderful way to wrap it up. So Kyle Reiling, Executive Director for the gig, Greenview Industrial Gateway, and you just mentioned it. It's collaboration over competition. That's what our region is about. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks a lot.